the build up. So we're gonna hit the start button on this and get going, and we'll see you in just a second. And boop.
Welcome to Nerd of the Noob, episode 40, the Superman Show. Hello, Superman fans!
Welcome, Superman fans!
As we said in the intro, welcome to Nerd of the Noob. My name is Greg, I am your nerd.
I am Michael, I am the
Noob.
noob.
And today is all about the Man of Steel, Superman, the strong guy, the big guy, the big S, the blue man, the man without the pants on the outside anymore.
I liked it.
And so our amazing producer has put together a lot of Superman material today.
Yeah, this is a almost 900% Superman only show.
The only thing that takes us out of it is new verses and trailers.
Yes, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a Superman related. The producer's been working on this for a month. I went to him about a month ago. I called him while I was at work, and I was like, "Hey, here, I got an idea. We know we're gonna go see Superman. All of us are gonna go see it. What if we did a Superman only show?" I said, "Can you go and find this and this and this and this?" And he's been spending the last month and he's mined information and found links, and everybody's been going crazy, and we've got a giant show just about Superman.
Real quick on our weekend chat explosion. Today is Father's Day, so much love.
I'm not a dad, so go ahead. Happy Father's Day to my fathers, which I need to call.
Couple of things. Father's Day included a new watch for me, and I will walk to the camera to show everybody. A new Superman watch. Also, these are not Superman, but they're DC. Boom! Kicks.
What did I get? Nothing, because I'm not a dad. So, yeah. And apparently Les, our producer, he got Injustice Gods Among Us on PlayStation 3. Nice present.
Yeah, good present.
Nice present. As far as my weekend chat explosion goes, so my weekend started at 7:30 this morning. Because, no, I'm sorry, earlier than that, I woke up at 6:45, okay? And I woke up and I looked at the clock, and I was like, Gina was laying in the bed on her computer, and I'm like, "What are you doing?" I thought I was like late for work or something, and I'm like yelling at her. And then so I was like, you know what, screw it, we got to get up and start doing things. So went to Lowe's. I've been working yard work all day. Then we went to Walmart, did the grocery shopping. That's the first time I think in 10 years I've been done with grocery shopping before 12 o'clock in the afternoon. We were done by 10 o'clock, 10:30 at the latest. Came home, and then we went and watched Man of Steel today at 1 o'clock. And let me tell you, normally a 1 o'clock showing is...
Sorry. I just realized something.
What?
There is not a section on our box that says Man of Steel review.
Yeah, I know. I actually put something in there that said, when are we reviewing this? We'll probably do it first. We'll just do that first.
Alright.
Anyways... so went and saw it. The theater was packed. There was actually people like begging seats, like, "Hey, can you scoot over?" and blah 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 and blah, blah. I'm like, really, people? Y'all are nuts. Like, it was crazy for a 1 o'clock show. So
we're gonna jump right out of Weekend Chat Explosion into Man of Steel review.
So first things first.
Fresh, so you go.
First things first. Let's go. What, 1 out of 10?
We'll do it 1 out of 10, but we'll do it at the very end. Don't give it away at the beginning.
Okay. What did I think of the movie? I enjoyed it. The only thing that I always, you know me, I'm a big pessimist. So one thing that I didn't like is there were times when I thought there may have been too much going on to see what was going on. Like, in the Krypton scenes... Oh, by the way, before we forget...
No, it's a spoiler-laden show, they know.
Okay, good. I was going to do spoiler. Anyways, in the Krypton, some of the things in that, it was really nice because... I'm sorry, let me rephrase myself. I got sidetracked. Sometimes there was just so much camera movement going on.
Do you think?
Keep talking.
Do you think that he subscribed to the J.J. Abrams form of movie making?
Oh, I know.
Because I saw a few lens flares.
Oh, there was lens flares like a mofo. Keep talking.
I agree with you. I think that was one of my problems with the movie, is there was a lot of... And I don't know if seeing it on a giant big D or massive screen actually helps the experience. I'm not entirely unsure that I won't enjoy the movie better when I buy it and watch it at home on my own TV.
Yeah, fair enough.
Because there's so much to take in, you can't.
Well, one of my favorite things was, back always, every time you see something referred to for Krypton, it's always diamonds or crystals and technology.
And it was not this time.
I absolutely loved it. It was a good mix of just raw fantasy, in my opinion. The guy, he had this flying dragony thingy, whatever it was. I don't know what it was. Russell Crowe did.
By the way, Russell Crowe as Jor-El, good.
I liked it. But I liked the Krypton scenes. Talking about Russell Crowe, I was like, when I knew he was going to die. Obviously, everybody knows he's going to die. But then when he came back, like as a
computer,
as the computer, essentially AI type thing, and when they're in the ship and he's trying to help Amy Adams get out. Lois Lane, sorry. Lois Lane get out of the ship that's in orbit, and he's just like, fwah, 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 throwing his hands up, and doors are opening and closing. He goes, oh yeah, move your head. And it was awesome. Like, I loved Russell Crowe's whole thing. The fact that they gave him more work in this than they did Marlon Brando in the originals, because Brando was just kind of like, I'm your father.
He was a voice.
Blah,
That's
blah,
all
blah.
He was.
This one, they gave him a presence, and I really, really enjoyed it. That was the one big thing for me, is like in the originals, I'm going to do a lot of the back and forth from the originals. You had Zod just kind of showed up. Like, we'd never heard of him really before. He was just there. Mm-hmm. And in this one, it was like first, 5-6 minutes, bam, Zod is there. Yeah. We figure out what happens, why he even comes after Clark. And so I think it did a good tie-in. I think that was one of the things that tied in well. One of the things I missed, but I can understand why they skipped over it, was a lot more of the childhood. Mm-hmm. They said a couple of points. I think the only reason they did some of the childhood stuff was so they could set up how Lois figures out who he is.
Okay, producer, give us 5 minutes on the movie reviews. I'm gonna go with. Unfortunately, the ladies were rather lacking for me in this one.
No, I liked Amy Adams.
Actually, I take that back. There's a scene towards the end of the movie where so tangent. In every movie ever since, and you saw a little bit of it in maybe Avengers, destruction, but you still don't feel the destruction.
Oh my god, it was everywhere.
In the cartoons and everything else, you see, they're going through 3 buildings at one time. You got to imagine people are in there and everything. Right. They showed that in this movie. And I loved it. Like, I'm sitting there thinking, they're destroying sections of a major city.
Right.
And there are things happening. People are actually dying because of this fight.
Right.
And the new Jimmy, or Ginny...
Oh, Olsen, sure. They never said Olsen.
I think that's going to be the new Olsen.
They never said Olsen, but
when she was stuck...
Yeah.
And, like, her tears in fear, I felt... It was the only time.
I think that might have been the one time I said, and excuse the way I say this, I looked at the screen and oh shit. I mean, it's just like things are just falling, and I'm like, holy crap. See, I gave
Henry Cavill. I need a rating on him for 6.
I gave Transformers crap for that, because there was just such wanton destruction going on there. It seemed over the top to me. There must have been more in this,
and it wasn't over the top,
and it fit.
It was needed.
Cavill. I really liked it. I thought he played every age well. Me personally, and this just may be my preference, I don't know. I think I preferred the rugged version Like when he was when he helped the
So
oil
tank-
rig.
the rig.
That was awesome. I mean, he just stands there and he's on fire, and he's just like,
I know. That
peace
was
out,
so
let's
cool.
come on. I'm like, what up? Oh my god. Great.
Let's see here. The way they reimagined Paul Kent's death threw me for a minute, but I kind of liked it.
I liked the idea. Okay, so this is bad because I normally really like him. But I'm trying to think of what his name is. Kevin Costner. I actually did not like his Pa Kent. I liked the idea they had for like what they did with him.
A more aggressive Paul, like saying you may have to let someone die.
Yeah, I liked what they did with him.
Or in this case, let me die to keep your secret.
I did not like how it just. I did not like how he portrayed it. I mean, it wasn't bad by any means, but it just didn't feel genuine to me.
Okay, so here are my main points. The destruction was a big one for me. I loved that. Like, it was... it brought a sense of consequence to what happens when Superman has a fight in the middle of a city.
Right.
It has a sense of... People die when that happens.
Right.
Second was... I almost... When Zod was fighting, I liked him.
Right.
When Zod was talking, I didn't.
Producer's telling us to move on. I think we're just going to have a really long show.
Yep, maybe. At least on this section. We'll get it through it in just a minute.
We've been talking about timing.
I know, right?
We're just throwing it out the door.
Watching him in the military, with the handcuffs on. You know how in most things they go like this and break them? He didn't even do that. It was just butter.
Oh, like things like that. There was very little in what I would call actually just like plain out comedy in this.
There was very little, yes.
But the parts where they did that was really well done. Like when he's sitting in the room and she's like, "You let them handcuff you," and he goes, "Well, it made them feel better.
It made them feel safer."
And then he gets up. He's like, "General, tink tink," and they just fall off. And he puts his arms down, and they're just freaking out. And he's like, "What are you going to do about it?" It's like,
what is he? He goes, "How do we know you're not going to plan to take it?" Something about that, and he tells the general, "I'm from Kansas. How much? Oh, how do we know you're not going to threaten the American way of life?" And he says, "I was raised in Kansas. How much more American can I get?"
Right.
Overall, I've got to say the destruction during the whole thing. Mm-hmm. Last point, Fiora. The female Kryptonian. She
was good.
She was badass.
By the way, did you like the reimagining of the kryptonite
versus the atmosphere?
Yeah.
No.
I actually liked it because to me, the kryptonite to Superman always kind of felt like the color yellow to Green Lantern.
Yeah.
Like for some reason, if he ever comes up on the color yellow, he's like, "Oh God, I can't." And
you've read the book, you know why?
No, actually, I have not gotten that far in it yet. Yes, I do know why it's there, but that part just never made as much sense to me.
I didn't like the atmospherics, is what they call it.
But I actually enjoyed that part because that was something substantial. It wasn't just, here's this. Because they've never said in a Superman movie, it's because there's radiation coming off of the kryptonite that he's bad for. I mean, what do they think a piece of kryptonite is? Does it think it's got its own gravitational field that suddenly he loses his power? That part of Superman's thing never worked for me.
It's a piece of his planet that was irradiated from the explosion and that traveled through space.
I got that.
And that weakens him. I
understand that, but to my brain, this made more sense.
Okay. I had another thought and you made me lose it. There really was something. Oh, and my final thing was there were plenty of what I'm going to call double-page spreads of what would be an amazing Superman comic.
Oh yeah, like Lenny said something about when he tackles Zod and beats him as they're flying, saying, "You can't threaten my mother like that." I liked it.
When he's underneath the world builder. Mm-hmm. And he's just, he's raising his fist to fly up.
Oh, yeah.
That was really good.
Good scene.
Also, watching him learn how to fly was funny.
It was okay.
Overall, we're leaving one big spoiler out for people who haven't seen it.
What are we leaving out?
The Zod thing at the end.
No, we're not.
You don't want to leave it out?
No. What do you think about the fact that he killed him?
All right, fine. We'll talk about it.
I liked it. It's a different Superman. It's a darker Superman. I'm okay with that, actually.
I wouldn't even go so far as to say
You think it was
he was darker. I think it's if you put a person raised on Earth, somebody like us who has those kind of values, but give him those powers, and somebody that is
never going to stop.
Right. You eventually have to do something along those lines. That's where I go with that, and so it made sense. Like my jaw dropped when it happened, but when it did happen, when I thought about it a little more, I enjoyed.
It's a realistic sense.
Yes, it's a realistic. That's what I like about these reimagined comic book movies is they feel real. Mm-hmm. You know, the old Superman movies, they did not feel real. I mean, good God, the guy went around the Earth several times and went back time.
Plastic S.
Yes, thank you. So I like that's one thing I like is the fact that it feels real.
Okay.
So all right, so we need to move on. So we're gonna get to score. First off, 1 out of 10.
8. Because there was so much to it that I did love. Very little that I didn't.
Honestly, what did I give Star Trek? Do you remember? Did I give it a 9?
Mm-hmm.
This is right up there with Star Trek for me. It was a good movie. I liked the reimagined, like things that had been things that were changed. It has the opportunity to
progress really well.
The things that were changed from the originals. The reason I think for me that it probably doesn't get a 10 is that it was really too convenient for Lois Lane to figure out who he is, and then for the rest of the movie, she runs around going, Clark! And there's people all over the place, and suddenly he's got to try and keep a secret identity. That part irritated me to death. Otherwise, I imagine him looking at her at one point going, woman! Learn how to shut it! Just because it was just stupid.
Well, he didn't have a super name yet.
So I'll give it a 9. I really, really enjoy that part.
Okay.
It was realistic to me, even with the flight and powers and all that. It felt like something like that could happen.
It was the Superman fights that we've been wanting to see in a live action.
Yes. I give it a 9. It was definitely really good. So let's do this also real quick. The main characters. Superman, you like him or don't?
Yeah.
Okay. Ma Kent, like her or don't?
No.
Didn't like her. Pa Kent.
He was iffy.
Okay. Zod.
No.
When he's fighting.
When he's fighting. Okay. Great fighter, bad
You
talker.
like the girl?
I like Amy Adams. I'll see what she does a second time.
Okay. What about the battle chick? What's her name?
Fiora?
You like her?
Yeah.
I think that's pretty much... What'd you think of the military guys, top 2? Like the general and the colonel?
I have a hard time seeing him as anything other than SVU.
The Law and Order guy?
Yeah.
The colonel?
The general was fine with me, so
good. Overall good. Alright, so I do believe... Are we forgetting anything review-wise?
No, we're good.
Oh, before I forget, if you haven't watched it yet and you pay attention towards the last quarter of the movie, watch for a tanker truck and a satellite. There's symbols on both of them. That is another thing.
It's the Easter eggs. They're all over the internet.
It is open to the world. We see LexCorp, so he will probably show up at one point or another.
Oh, Lawrence Fishburne is Perry White.
And
I liked him as Perry.
I did too. Actually, this is the first time I've liked him in a long time. And then the other one is the Wayne Enterprises logo on the satellite that was busted up. So, on that, I will shut up about the review because I think I could go on for a while. I may do another mini re-review when I buy it.
Okay. A rehash. 90 days later.
So, there is no post-credits bit. I was not the only one in the theater that sat there as soon as the credits started to roll.
I didn't sit there. As soon as they started to roll, I Googled.
That's exactly... I heard the guy behind me go, hang on, I'm Googling it. And I was like... I just kind of took my head up like, crap, I couldn't hear it.
Okay, so we're going to move into what is normally the long box. We're moving into the super box this week. First thing up is the 10 worst things DC and Superman has done. Starting out with number 10.
Aquaman versus... I read this, by the way. Aquaman versus Jimmy Olsen.
Just highlight it.
Apparently, somehow, Jimmy Olsen, I think, gets his powers...
Jimmy Olsen has had powers several times.
Was dispatched to cover launch of submarine. Little Jimmy, no. I was trying to remember. For one reason or another, Jimmy and Aquaman and Superman end up in a desert, and it gets kind of weird.
Uh-oh.
What? Oh, did I forget something? I didn't see reviews because Greg didn't tell me.
No, that's not what I'm owing.
What do you?
All right, can you guys still see us?
My computer just froze, didn't it? No.
But the videos froze.
Yeah, hang on. We gotta wait. Oh, what is this? Continue.
Type in there.
We're having technical issues.
Type in and see if they can see us.
I can't type.
Where's your keyboard?
I know, I'm saying I don't have the option to type. Hang on. Let me see what's going up here.
Crap.
No, you're fine. You're fine. It's not a problem. It'll come up.
Okay, now we're moving.
Alright, hang on a second. I saw, what about our reviews? Hang on. Do. Let me go and find them real quick, and I will let you read Ted reviews. We've got a couple of, I think we've got a couple, movie reviews, my reviews. Is it in this one? Okay, cool. We do have, wow. Okay. So.
Okay, we only got a couple.
Alright. So, go for it.
Okay, so assuming we're back on, hopefully we are. If not, this is going to be really depressing. We're going to do user reviews real quick because we forgot them. Zach Carr gave it, he says, personally I gave it a 6 out of 10. I felt it was extremely boring except for the action sequences, which only was about 1/3 of the movie. The only other reason I give it a 6 is due to how great the CGI was. Otherwise it would have been worse, I guess.
William McCamus says, I'll go 8 out of 10 because it seems they finally took their time writing a Superman movie. Amen, brother. I like the fact that they didn't treat the viewers like they were all 6-year-olds. Nothing against the older movies. Well, not all the older movies anyways.
Okay, the producers. All the waiting, all the trailers, all the rumors, and did it disappoint? Yes. No, that's not what he says. No, Man of Steel was an epic edge-of-your-seat movie. This starts at the beginning of Superman's life, starting at Krypton, and you are thinking, okay, this movie will just go through him as a kid, but instead it takes flashback scenes, which flows very nicely. The action scenes are intense in this movie. You laugh, and the tornado scene really pulls at your heart, knowing what Clark could have done, but Jonathan Kent just didn't want him to do anything. I love how it answers most, if not all, the questions on how he got his suit, to the symbol of Superman, to even why he's even more powerful on Earth. The Easter eggs are there, seeing LexCorp twice, Wayne Enterprises, and I am convinced that the dog was the mother, or was the dog that was with the mother when Clark was Superman looked just like Krypto. This movie had the potential to be the best of the year. I was modest with my score before the movie started at 9, but watching the movie, even with no post-credit, I'm still giving it a 10 out of 10. And yes, I admit, I'm not a huge Superman fan, but this movie rocked. DC, you got some momentum now. Don't screw it up, a-holes.
Amen to that.
Well said. Okay, sorry we forgot those reviews, and if there was any confusion, I'm sure it'll be edited out anyway.
Sure, why not?
Yeah.
So back into the Super Box, we've got the 10 worst things Superman has ever done. The first one was, or number 10 was Aquaman versus Jimmy Olsen. And like I said, it's essentially, for some reason, Superman ends up making Jimmy and Aquaman essentially survival of the fittest. And it ends up, let's see, where is it? It turns out let's see, it turns out it's not actually Superman, that it's Captain Bane as a shapeshifter. And he's used this whole thing to kill Aquaman.
Oh, nice. Next.
So, number...
Scrolling up.
Oh, crap. My Shockwave player just died again. So, how you doing?
I'm good.
I'm going to have to switch to a different...
2 minutes of story.
Thing. Oh, there we go. Superman Clean Energy Enthusiast. Go for it. Number 9.
When Superman heard that the stockholders of a new oil well were being scammed, he set out to see justice done against the con men who were stealing money from the poor stockholders.
That is so horrible.
Oh, good lord. So rather than simply I missed it.
Number 8, Superman Deadbeat Dad.
This one I liked, and this one I remember. Superman has, in the Bryan Singer's Superman Returns, Superman has a child with Lois. No.
Wow.
It essentially turns him into a deadbeat dad.
Yeah, let's try stopping my Flash player, see if that fixes it. Well, I hope they can still see us.
This was going to sound a weird episode. Can you guys still see us in the chat? We need a confirmation. Hello. Hello,
takes a second.
chat.
Oh, let's see. Reload page. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and move on. Number
It doesn't matter if we move on if there's nothing there.
7. Superman versus all the cars. In a prime example of the bizarre and flighty
moral code of Superman's early days, Superman becomes enraged when his good friend is killed in a car accident. Rather than striking at the root of the problem and ensuring stronger driving standards, rallying for better driver's education, or empowering the police, Superman goes right off the deep end and appears on the radio declaring that all dangerous and homicidal drivers are now in his purview.
Oh my goodness. Number 6, Superman, alias Tommy Burke. Bear in mind as you read this list that Superman has the power to do basically anything he wants. He can solve any problem, is immune to almost all forms of harm, has the power to stop any crime, blah, blah, blah. So when he makes choices like deciding that the only way to stop some corrupt athletes from rigging a football game is to drug and kidnap a member of the opposing team and take his place, you kind of whether some circuits got crossed during that trip from Krypton.
Nice. Okay, so he's drugging people now. These are early stories.
I know it. Number 5, go for it.
Really? I gotta do this one?
You get this one.
Superman XXX. Superman and Big Barda were duped into filming some less than savory films by the new god Sleaze, a former confidant of Darkseid, who was kicked out of Apocalypse for being, wait for it, too gross.
Oh my god, okay.
Alright, we gotta rush through this.
Number 4, Superman Prime kills basically everyone. In 1980s were a complicated time for comics. Not only were blah blah blah. During the course of Crisis on Infinite Earths, the event that DC designed to streamline its continuity, myriad alternate realities were destroyed and collapsed to form one core continuity.
Oh, the multiverse punch.
So he destroyed millions.
He destroyed billions.
That's good to know. Number 3, super gentrification. In the early days of his career, Superman was kind of a big picture guy. He was all about righting social ills and... The thing keeps screwing me up over there.
We have great production today.
One day, while contemplating all of this, as he dangled some young criminals high in the air over their low-income neighborhood, he had the sudden realization that most of the crime he had to deal with originated in these types of slums. So figuring out he could kill a whole bunch of birds with one terrible stone, Superman decided to just have done with the whole thing and burn down the poorest neighborhoods in Metropolis.
Oh, good God!
Wow! Number 2, go for it.
Superman's son, Jimmy Olsen. I can only guess there's an adoption in here for this. Tell me there's adoption for it. After being told by a psychic that he would kill his own son, Superman came up with a really good plan to make sure that would never happen. Instead of going the obvious, non-super route, he decided that the best way to stop himself from killing his own son would be to adopt a son and then alienate him from his life before killing him. That's fantastic.
And it looks like he adopted Jimmy. Number 1, rest in peace, Lois Lane.
This is the newest thing. It's killing Lois during the Injustice Gods Among Us, killing a pregnant Lois.
Right.
During an Injustice God Among Us thing.
I'm gonna see if I can't pull this stuff up on a different browser, because something is crashing me here. Sorry guys, give us just a minute. I don't know if it's my Firefox or if my computer has finally decided to take a poo on itself. But, yeah. Alright, so there's that.
Okay, so they must be seeing it too.
Let's see. We don't need that. I don't need that.
So just pull that. Yeah.
Copy and paste.
Pull Twitch over there too.
I'm getting on it.
Sorry guys, we're having to do some adjusting here.
Oh, are you kidding me?
I'm gonna need somebody to actually edit this video today.
Alright, we're here. Hang on a minute. I'll do this. There it is. Thank you. Apparently I don't know my own passwords. Why is it not letting me do that? Oh, come on. Are you freaking kidding me?
How many passwords do you possibly have?
3. Let's see. Alright. So, that's on that now. Alright. We're not even using this page, so...
Get rid of it.
Well, yeah. Let's close that. Guys, we're not going to be able to see the chat for a second. We'll be right back. So, I'm opening... Opening Google Chrome.
Good Lord.
What?
How is it we...
I don't know. Don't worry about it. It happens.
Only to us.
We'll just have to do some editing.
Who wants to do our editing this week?
I think we've said this before. Okay. Dashboard.
And pop out.
Pop out. And bring that right there.
Alright, we need a confirmation from the chat that you guys are still there. Don't want to do that.
No.
A-okay. Okay.
Awesome. Alright. You want to do a clap so you know where to cut? Or so I know where to cut, I guess?
Yeah, you're going to have to do it this time.
2 claps. 1, 2, 3. Alright, and on to the next. We've got Superman's television history. Didn't we have another article about that?
Well, we got a whole bunch of stuff about television.
Okay, fair enough. So we're going to open this article up, and this is just something to help us, or this is something we found so that we can figure out what all he's been in. And what do we got here? While Superman has appeared in several movies, the character's history on TV is perhaps even more impressive. No superhero has had more live-action TV shows made about him, and The Last Son of Krypton has also been a mainstay in TV animation now for decades.
The first show, one of the earliest shows, is The Adventures of Superman, which was a television play. Just, like shorts, 1952.
The first incarnation of Superman on TV debuted in 1952, having been preceded by 1951 film Superman and the Mole Men, which was essentially a theatrical pilot for the series. Mole Men actors George Reeves and Phyllis Coates reprised their roles from the feature as Clark Kent / Superman and Lois Lane. Wow.
Okay, go down. Let's see what's next.
Let's see.
That's big enough. I can read it.
Next one is The Adventures of Superboy / The Adventures of Super Pup. What?
This was in 1958. The Adventures of Superman was a big hit with the kids, so naturally kids would love a version of Superman in which all the characters were walking, talking dogs, right? Right?
Then you've got, let's see, what do we got? The New Adventures of Superman / The Adventures of Superboy. Following the beloved theatrical shorts of the 1940s, this 1966 series was Superman's first foray into TV animation, but hardly his last.
It doesn't look bad for the 60s.
No.
Next up is, and this show we watched,
Super Friends! Back in the Hall of Justice!
Aquaman makes a peanut butter and jelly sandwich because he can't do crap. Thank you, Frank Caliendo.
It's hard not to feel nostalgic for Super Friends, which ran for 13 years from 1973 to 1986 under various titles. While the show viewed today is incredibly cheesy, it did give young viewers their first ongoing look at the Justice League in action together. And Superman was a mainstay of the series through all of its many iterations and team-up lines. Lex Luthor also was a frequent presence, heading up the Legion of Doom and their many, many nefarious schemes.
We're just going to skip it, but apparently in 1966 there was a Broadway production called It's a Bird, It's a Plane, It's Superman. Wow, that looks bad.
9 years later, ABC turned the musical into a primetime special starring David Wilson as Superman and Leslie Ann Warren as Lois Lane. Wow.
Alright, going down.
with
Next page.
Oh, good God! There's multiple pages here.
Well, there's a list. Superboy. The last Superman-related project to be produced by Alexander and
Ilya Salkind.
the team behind the Superman, the Christopher Reeve Superman films and the Supergirl movie. 1988 syndicated series focused on Clark Kent as a college student.
Living in Florida? Random.
I remember that, actually.
Superman! Only 13 episodes of this 1988 animated series were produced, but it has a bit of a cult audience among Superman fans. The first Superman adaptation to be made following the comic book event Crisis and John Burns reworking of the character.
Alright.
Now, you know this one.
Yeah, Lois and Clark, The New Adventures of Superman, Dean Cain and Terry Hatcher. Good show. I mean, it was very cheesy.
Oh, quite cheesy.
Hatcher is yummy.
We got Superman the Animated Series. That was in 1990. Let's see, what is blah 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 blah. Having impressed so many with Batman the Animated Series, the same team, including Alan Burnett, Paul Dini, and Bruce Timm, next moved on to a new take of the Man of Steel in 1966, and once again nailed it. Superman the Animated Series, like Batman, was an excellent mix of classic comic book influences with clever new ideas, and it quickly set a new standard for Superman in animation.
Great show. Again, another great show. Justice League Unlimited and more is what it says. This started in 2001. It's, most of our generation knows what it is by now. Justice League Unlimited. Each of them were 2 seasons. Very good shows. Good storylines. A little darker sometimes. I loved it.
Mm.
And the final page.
Going on to page 3 now. This is, by the way, this is from IGN. The big one that most people know, I did not know he ever showed up, is Smallville. For better or worse, Smallville was definitely a product of the WB, the network that spawned it. The series began as a new take on Clark Kent, starring Tom Welling, as a teenager, in a continuity where he was never Superboy, and thus no tights and cape were needed. In many ways, Smallville initially felt like the melding of fellow WB series Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Dawson's Creek, blending the former's teenager versus monster setup with the latter's earnest, and often corny, heart-on-sleeve approach to teen romance.
I love the show.
I'm going to have to go through and watch that.
Crypto the Super Dog is a 2005 cartoon on Cartoon Network, I believe, that is actually pretty funny.
We've got Legion of Superheroes.
Love this show.
What else we got? That one was really good.
The Batman. Superman has been in. Okay, so this list is going to continue. It's going to be on our Facebook page, so check it out.
Superman, or Batman, the Brave and the Bold. Young Justice. And that's it.
Okay.
See, it doesn't continue.
That took forever.
There's a lot of stuff he's in. But it's a good list. Definitely a good list. Next up, we've got a couple of Man of Steel 2 stuff confirmed. So, Man of Steel 2 confirmed, and maybe Justice League. This was Deadline.com.
On a side note to this, it was confirmed that they were going to do a second one before it even aired in the States. Because of the pre-sale orders and the merchandising.
Oh, yeah, I know. It was nuts. Let's see. This is exclusive. This isn't exactly a surprise given the hot anticipation and theatrical buzz awaiting Man of Steel's limited opening.
It says, I've learned that it's official. Warner Brothers Pictures is fast-tracking the Superman reboot sequel with its successful twosome already in place. Zack Snyder reprising as director and David S. Goyer repeating as screenwriter. Goyer's part is a part of a huge 3-picture deal he signed at Warner Brothers for Man of Steel, the sequel, and Justice League with Superman. So that's basically, if I'm reading that right, that's a confirmation of Zack Snyder and Goyer probably doing all 3. So there may only be 3 Superman movies and then the Justice League movie.
Right.
I mean, two Superman movies.
It says, meanwhile, fanboys are speculating who'll be the villains in the next Man of Steel sequel. I think we have a story.
We have other stories for that.
Next up, we have, with Man of Steel sequel already announced, who should be the villain in number 2. So let's read the story first. I'm getting ads. Skip ad. Thank you. Whoa.
Outside the walls of
You're gonna have to cut that page off.
There's a vast frontier waiting.
Okay, we're gonna try that again.
We're so professional today.
I know. I'm waiting for the mute. Is there a mute? Do I need the mute? It doesn't look like I need it this time. Go away. There we go. 10 Superman villains we'd love to see on film.
Let's just scroll down and take a look. Oh, that's fancy.
Number 10 is Lex Luthor. Everybody knows him. Number 9 was Parasite. I actually saw him recently in All-Star
Parasite is an
Superman.
energy-craving lunatic who was worked on and created in... he was a janitor in Star Labs.
Nice. Then we've got...
Bizarro.
Yep.
I can see Bizarro, but I don't know. Maybe having intellectual villain wouldn't be a bad idea.
He's a clone, right?
He's a failed clone
Okay.
several times, hundreds of times.
Mongol.
Mongol is another superpowered. Again, they're all pretty much going to be superpowered.
Oh yeah, otherwise it's not.
But he's the leader of Warworld, so having Superman end up somewhere like that would be kind of cool.
Maybe. What about Toyman?
I don't know enough about Toyman to know.
All right.
Mr. Mixelplick.
I can't even say the stupid name.
That would be a comedic thing that I just don't see in this universe.
Let's see.
Mixelplick is an annoying troll, pretty much, that shows up, and the only way to get rid of him is get him to say his name backwards.
How do you say his name?
I can't say it, so I couldn't get rid of him.
Then we've got Darkseid, obviously
Yes.
Superman's main bad guy.
I don't know. Watching Superman fight Doomsday would be kind of badass, and that's the number 3.
Removing the whole death of Superman angle Doomsday could work. I don't know if you remove the death of Superman. I don't know. Brainiac, that would be mine.
Brainiac, strength along with mind.
Yes. I think Brainiac, that would be my choice. And the number 1 option is Metallo. Notice Lex Luthor's not on this list.
He was the first one.
That's true, he was the first one. Never mind. Metallo, this could be a more realistic and street-level villain for Superman. During a robbery, Superman flips the getaway car and massively injures the driver. At first, he's rushed to the hospital, but a corrupt doctor sells the damaged body to a robotics firm attempting to build the first cyborg. Powered by a kryptonite heart, Metallo freaks out when he sees himself and tries to make contact with his old girlfriend and his son. Treated as a monster by those he loved, Metallo snaps. Blaming Superman for his plight. This would not only be a good fight, it could be a villain the audience sympathizes with.
It won't happen unless they come up with a way to give him kryptonite.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. I mean, you kind of screw up that whole little setup with the kryptonite thing. I think I would personally like to see Brainiac.
Okay.
I think that one could work well. I think you could reimagine Brainiac as a more of a scientist instead of an alien.
I like him as an alien.
I understand he's cool as an alien, but what I'm saying, if you wanted to make it more realistic, you could have him
Okay.
human and something happens, or he's just an evil genius or something like that. That would be my bad guy.
Okay.
And on that note, we've got a
list here
Superman
that was put together.
villains.
Lex, Darkseid, Doomsday, Brainiac, Mr. Mixelplick, Bizarro, General Zod, Atlas, Atomic Skull, Deadshot, Deathstroke, and hundreds of them.
And if you don't believe us, please check out this Wikipedia article that Les put together for us. And like I said, out of those, I think I'd probably like to see
Doomsday. I think a Doomsday just... that would be...
See, Doomsday...
It would have to be a double bad guy movie.
Doomsday could be a good Justice League bad guy.
No, he's never been a Justice League bad guy, though. Not on a regular basis. He's a Superman bad guy.
Well, I think Lex Luthor has to be in at least one of the movies.
I'm sure he will be.
So I think if you put Lex Luthor and Brainiac, or if you wanted to do one brawn, one brain, you could do Lex Luthor and
Doomsday.
Not Doomsday. But
I think Darkseid.
Bizarro.
I think Darkseid ends up being Justice League.
Because you could have Lex Luthor trying to clone Superman, come up with a Bizarro, and kind of just goes downhill from there.
All right, real quick. We've got another article that says we could be getting a Superman sequel as early as next year. This I doubt. But let's take a look.
This is from comicmovie.com. Will a Man of Steel sequel hit as early as next year? Man of Steel has only just opened in theaters, but knowledgeable people close to the studio have ads pop up on their screen every time they want to do something. And there we go. Let's see. Reliable sources. The sequel may be released as 2014, with Justice League following soon after in 2015. News that's too good to be sure. Truly, too good to be true. Surely, read on for details. There's no way they get another movie.
Says Warner is already in development on a sequel to Man of Steel and expected to fast track that for release as soon as 2014. Said knowledgeable people. It has long been developing a Justice League team up movie featuring characters such as the Flash and Wonder Woman. So if this is true, we'll go ahead and move on from the story. But if this is true, that means that they're going to fast track right past setups for the other characters.
One thing that would be good if they did this in a 3-year jump or 4-year jump is I feel bad for Henry Cavill.
Mm-hmm.
The man was huge.
He was huge.
There's no way you stay that big without like 19 hours a day of working out. I mean, huge. His chest alone was just bigger than a doorway. He was just massive dude. So, holy shnikes. That was intense. What does the rest of it say? While this may seem unlikely, it's not exactly unheard of. Fast and Furious 6 came out this year, and the 7th installment of that franchise will be released in a little over a year from now. With The Hobbit
there and back again, filling Warner Brothers' summer slot, there's nothing to be said that a Man of Steel sequel couldn't fill the vacant December position that both that franchise and Harry Potter have found great success in. However, they would need to work on the movie almost immediately to make this a reality, and Henry Cavill's next project is supposed to be The Man from U.N.C.L.E. Whether this is a mistake or just a sign that the studio are anxious to establish a new franchise as quickly as possible remains to be seen.
I doubt we'll see another Superman movie next year. We would have already started seeing, we will start seeing previews.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
In a month, if that's the case. Now we've got something found by Anthony Whitehouse. An article discussing the Superman curse. Now, I don't know what this is.
I read this, so I'll summarize it a little bit.
As soon as it comes up?
Yeah.
Let's see. What are we saying? He said it took him 9 months of training to get to that point. The chest,
the big
boom, giant. When he finally showed him, and it showed up, I was like,
okay. Obviously, our article is not going to work. Oh wait, there it is.
I just redid it.
You're killing me here.
The Curse of Superman.
All right, scroll down to the first actor to portray a live-action Superman was Kirk Allen, who started out as a chorus boy on Broadway and treaded the boards of vaudeville before moving to Hollywood in the 1940s. Let's see here. He got his big break in 1948 with a 15-episode live-action serial that chronicled Kal-El's coming to Earth, growing up, and befriending Lois Lane and Jimmy Olsen. Scroll down. I want to see where Allen would prove to be the first victim of the curse as he became too closely associated with Superman and was unable to have much of a career following the serials. He appeared in a few more comic book type serial movies and some TV series, though his most notable role following his tenure as Man of Steel might very well have been his cameo as Lois Lane's father in Richard Donner's Superman.
Ha! I didn't know he was in that.
Scrolling down, let's see here. Scroll up. No, I got everybody up here.
Huh?
Keep going. However, like Allen, George Reeves, who was in 1951 The Mole Man, was unable to sustain a career after he hung up his cape. He played the role of Sergeant Malin Stark in From Here to Eternity, though there were rumors that the part was drastically reduced after audiences reacted unfavorably to seeing Superman in a war movie. Let's see here. The curse took a sinister turn with Reeves when he was found dead from a gunshot wound in his bedroom in 1959. The cause of death has officially been registered as a suicide, though it's been the cause of controversy and conspiracy ever since, with many claiming that he was murdered.
The main basis for the curse, however, is not being able to truly escape from the role of Superman. A cinematic kryptonite that keeps the actor from having any sort of decent career that doesn't involve running and flying around in blue tights. Christopher Reeve, a classically trained stage actor, won the hearts of millions with his masterfully dual role of Clark Kent/Superman in 4 feature films from 1978 to 1987, though he struggled professionally following the much reviled Superman 4: The Quest for Peace, though one has to wonder whether he might have scored a comeback were it not for the horse riding accident in 1995 that left him paralyzed from the neck down.
Reeve died on October 10, 2004 from heart failure stemming from his medical condition. Other people included are Dean Cain from Lois and Clark. He has not really had any regular gigs.
Says the curse has also affected Superman actors that never even got to play on the big screen. The career of Dean Cain, star of Lois and Clark, never took flight following his 4-season gig as the Man of Steel, and Tom Welling, star of Smallville, has struggled with life after Superman, or Clark Kent rather.
Brandon Routh is the most recent victim to this, starring in Superman Returns in 2006. Since then, he really has done nothing except for he was in Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, and a couple of reoccurring roles in Chuck, and a failed TV show called Partners, which I saw and was very funny.
So, well, let's hope this doesn't happen to him, because he did a really good job in this, Henry Cavill. So, we're going to move on to the next article. The next one is WB considers Aquaman and Wonder Woman movies based on success of Man of Steel. Doo-doo. Let's bring that up. One of these days it's just going to be sad and my internet's going to crash and it's going to be all kinds of funny. Why Man of Steel holds the key to Warner Brothers' future franchises.
Big list.
Let's see. Man of Steel flies into theaters on Friday carrying not just a $200 million price tag and the fate of Superman on its chiseled shoulders, but the future of Warner Brothers as well. The most stable studio in town has been anything but over the past few months as questions swirl about the future of its film chief, Jeff Robinov, and the studio's relationship with a key financing partner, Legendary Entertainment. Did you notice half the trailers were from Legendary Entertainment?
Yes.
Just thought I'd read
Robinov has already predicted that Man of Steel starring Henry Cavill will be the biggest film in studio history. If he is right, the studio is expected to move quickly to capitalize on this new franchise, aping Disney and Marvel's approach to the Avengers by creating a series of standalones, such as leading up to the Justice League.
It reestablishes franchise in a huge way. An individual close to Warner Brothers said to The Wrap about the Superman reboot, "If it does well, Warner Brothers can do Justice League, including Superman, Superman vs. Batman, and another Superman. It opens up at least 3 different fronts of potential sequels with great synergy for the company in theme parks, licensing, and all that."
Let's see if we can find where it talks about the other. Go down. Because we got long articles. Holy crap at the article. Alright, let's find the stuff specifically about Wonder Woman and stuff.
Going back up. Village Roadshow, which was developing Miller's Justice League with Warner Brothers, would likely co-finance this project according to multiple individuals. What project am I talking about? It is... let's see.
I'll scroll back up. Just read the whole article.
For nearly a decade, Warner Bros. Has been the envy of Hollywood, churning out mega-grossing popcorn movies like The Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, and The Dark Knight. Since 2007, the company has been first or second in terms of market share every year running. Yet those franchises have run their course, and its next batch of potential franchises such as Pacific Rim, pretty decent trailer, Godzilla, and Christopher Nolan's Interstellar are far from sure things. Harry Potter's a huge hole to fill, but historically they come up with the right titles that become franchises. Where'd they go? They play with more in development than any other country. That includes kicking the tires on films for Wonder Woman and Aquaman. Warner Brothers' plan would be to release the 2 Man of Steel films before moving on to the Justice League, a project everyone at Warner Brothers unofficially acknowledges is being developed.
So the way that they're saying it again is they're going to build the characters into Justice League and then do their solos after. I don't think that's smart.
No, I think that's the way they're going to have to do it. Because otherwise they're just copying Marvel at that point.
Okay.
Moving on to the next is some of worst Superman books covers ever. Let's see what we can get in here. 10 spectacularly awful Superman covers. We've got number 96, thrilling
ads from State Farm.
How do I get this one to go
Over
away?
here. X.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
One of these days we're just going to have to say screw it. Number 10 is 96 thrilling pages of Superman skiing. Really?
We got to do it for the video. Throw the screen cap up and put it in the middle of us there.
It's going to take me a minute to do that. Because I can't really see. Nope, that's not what I wanted. I'm blind, Greg! What are you doing to me? This is like the most horribly produced show right now. Alright. Yoink. There.
Throw it in the middle.
Alright, so that was number 10. Number 9 is... What is that?
I have a giant gun and no idea what Superman looks like. Let's rock.
Superman meets Jerry Lewis. Oh my god, this is great. Apparently the cover thing's got some guy trying to shoot some kid.
It's got Jerry Lewis as Superman.
Wow. Then we got Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen. What does that say? Superman, I'm dying.
Please tell me your secret identity. My hoax worked. I've learned his secret identity. Or his greatest secret. Jimmy Olsen lied to learn who Superman was. That's fantastic.
Whoa.
Scrolling.
Come on, guys. All the naked
teen boys are swimming. Good God.
Wow. Well, it is Batman.
Alright, moving on.
Then we've got not one scene where he tries to land without the use of his legs. Not one.
He's in a wheelchair? What the heck?
Oh my goodness. These are horrible covers. Who would draw these covers?
That's how old they are.
Oh my god. Superman meets the Quick Bunny?
And
What? Just really? I just don't even know.
number 4 is what's awesome about the title Shame of the Super Son.
Everything. Look, Superman, my son is a diving whiz. He could compete in the Olympics. But my boy always winds up with a belly flop, Batman. And I do mean flop. Really? This is awful? Oh my god! Oh my god, this is hilarious.
Number 3 is nobody at DC thought to say, guys, have you really looked at this cover?
Doggone it. Doggone if it ain't the most, what does that say?
Rambunctious bronc I ever rode, Superman. But I am to break you, woohoo. Good God.
You got a cowboy riding Superman. Oh, Lord.
This is good. This is fantastic.
Number 2 is hot. This is labeled hot. Good thing we've grown out of that kind of blanket racism against another country. And on the front, it's Superman printing something that says
Superman says you can slap a Jap with war bonds and stamps.
Oh my god.
Good Lord.
I'm just telling you.
That's Superman number 58. And the worst one ever, according to the Crave Online, is Superman Action Comics number 4. What was it? Oh, good God.
It's the picture, if you take it out of context, the picture is a kid crying face down on a pillow with Superman standing over him, behind him, putting his shirt back on. Oh my god! Wait, what did the word balloons say?
Superman, my dying wish is to know your secret identity, and you say you're Clark Kent. It's a lie.
It's totally not what that looks like. I'm just saying. God. Alright, moving on. That is horrible. Just horrible. That is just freaking awful. Alright, so that is that's all our links. That's all our stories. So what we're going to do is we're going to move on to a bunch of stuff that we have tracked down over the last month or so. The first of which is being the Superman box office franchise results. Let's see. Boop. There we go. What we want to do is we're going to go through and we're going to tell you what they all did. We got Superman released on December 15th, 1978. Opening weekend of 7.4 million. Box office total worldwide 300.2 million. Budget was 55 million.
Superman number 2 was on June 19th, 1981. Opening weekend was double, 14.1 million. Made way less, 108.1 million with a budget of 54.
Alright, Superman 3 released on June 17th, 1983. Opening weekend 13.3 million. Box office total worldwide 59.9 million. Budget was 39 million. So they only made $20 million on that.
It keeps going down.
Yep. Go ahead.
And the worst of the bunch, Superman 4, The Quest for Peace. Supposed to be epic. Released July 24th, 1987. We were alive for that, actually.
Yep.
Opening to 5.6 million. Box office worldwide was 11.2. And its budget was 17. So it lost a lot of money.
Alright, then we got Superman Returns. Released on June 28th, 2006. Opened to 52.5 million. Box office total worldwide 390.8 million.
But its budget was
232.
Good.
So at least it made money.
Yeah, but dang it, the budget.
I know. Well, that's 2006. Think of the difference. You got 1987 to 2006. That's 20-year difference.
True. Alright, moving on to a list of characters and who played them over the years. We've got Superman, played by Kirk Allen from 1948 and 1950.
George Reeves played in Superman and the Mole Man in 1951.
Christopher Reeve, Superman, all 4 of the Superman movies from 1978 to 1987.
Dean Cain from Lois and Clark, The New Adventures of Superman from 1993 to 1997.
Brandon Routh, from Superman Returns 2006.
Tom Welling in Smallville 2001 to 2011.
Probably one of the most successful runs, at least, considering how many years he did it.
That's true.
And most recently, Henry Cavill is the Man of Steel in 2013.
Other main characters in the show, or in the mythos, I guess, is Lois Lane, played by Noel Neal from 1948 to 1950.
Phyllis Coates was in 1951.
Margot Kidder in 1978, 1980, 83, and 87.
Terry Hatcher, yummy, 1993 and 97.
Kate Bosworth in 2006.
Erica Durance, 2001 to 2011 in Smallville, yummy again.
Amy Adams in the newest movie in 2013.
Lex has quite a few people playing him as well. Lyle Talbot was in 1950.
Gene Hackman in 1978, 80, and 87.
John Shea was in 93 and 97. I
Who is that?
I have no idea what that's from.
All right, Michael Rosenbaum, 2001 to 2011.
I like his Lex. It got weird at the end, though.
Did it?
I've seen pieces. It got very weird.
Well,
Kevin Spacey in 2006. Didn't like his. I also want to point out, I've told you these.
Okay.
There were 2 Smallville links that go back to the Christopher Reeves movies.
Okay.
One is Terrence Stamp, who played Zod,
Okay.
who ends up going and playing... I lost my train of thought because someone said I'm yummy. Thank you. Zod ended up playing Jor-El, the voice of Jor-El for Smallville.
I never knew that.
And Annette O'Toole, who was Lana Lang in the Christopher Reeves version, played Ma Kent in Smallville.
That one's cool. I like that one.
Oh, John Shea was Lex from Lois and Clark. Thank you, Ag.
I didn't know that.
Some of the highest priced auction items when it comes to Superman
One was just recently in 2010. The first appearance of Superman in Action Comics was sold for $2.16 million.
A lunchbox from 1954 Superman was sold for $11,865 in 2003. That lasted a while.
Christopher Reeve's costume from Superman the movie in 1978 was sold for $115,000 in 2007. I'd have bought that. That'd be cool. I'd like to have the new one just to wear it. It would look a little differently. I mean, it would fit just marginally worse. But I could fill it out.
Next up, we have, again, this whole show is just a show of things that Superman has been in, everything. A list of animated Superman films. We should make sure we watch this whole list at some point.
Holy crap.
Superman Brainiac Attacks in 2006.
Superman Doomsday 2007.
Justice League The New Frontier in 2008.
I hate that cover, by the way.
I love that cover.
I hate that cover. Superman Batman Public Enemies 2009.
Justice League Crisis on Two Earths 2010.
I don't think have I watched
that one was good.
Superman Batman Apocalypse 2010.
All-Star Superman 2011.
Just
Book
watched
is better.
it last night.
Book is better.
I just watched it. It was pretty good. Is that canon
No.
at all?
No. It's completely separate.
Okay. So is there an after?
Not yet. At some point maybe he'll write it, but no.
Okay. Justice League Doom from 2012.
Good movie. Superman versus the Elite in 2012.
You liked that one.
That one was good.
And the newest one that we haven't watched yet was Superman Unbound in 2013.
And supposedly Justice League The Flashpoint Paradox in 2013 as well. That comes out pretty soon.
Crossing my fingers! So, let's see. How many of those have we seen?
I've seen all of them.
I haven't seen Brainiac Attacks. I've seen
I'm
Doomsday,
pretty
New
sure I
Frontier,
own all of
Public
them.
Enemies. I have seen Crisis on Two Earth, Apocalypse, All-Star, Doom versus the Elite. I have not watched Unbound. So there's 1, 2, 3 if you count Flashpoint.
Well, I've seen all of them except for Unbound and Flashpoint.
I have Unbound.
Unbound is
in
sitting
the
next
other
to my
room.
TV.
Yeah, mine's in the other room. I just haven't looked at it.
By the way, Superman tattoo.
By the way, I don't have any ink on my body.
Next up, we have a Superman family tree. It's not a picture. This is just some of the people that have been involved in Superman's life. His biological parents are Jor-El and Lara Lor-Van.
Okay. Earth parents are Jonathan and Martha Kent.
Superboy is a clone of Superman and Lex Luthor. That I did know. I did know that.
I did know.
That's
I didn't
Connor.
know until Teen Titans.
That's Connor.
Not Teen Titans, but
Young Justice.
Supergirl is a cousin of Superman.
Power Girl, Superman's cousin from an alternate Earth.
Crypto, Superman's dog.
Bizarro, imperfect clone.
Bizarro Supergirl, imperfect clone of Supergirl.
Superboy Prime, evil clone of Superboy, and he's the one that did the multiverse punch.
Sir El, daughter of Superman and Lois Lane from an alternate Earth.
Nice. Lois Lane, Superman's girlfriend / wife.
Alora, Supergirl's mother, Superman's aunt.
And Lara, daughter of Superman and Wonder Woman.
When did they have a kid?
I don't know.
What? Then we've got the giant list
Oh my god, at this
of
list.
Superman video games or Superman related video games.
It goes back, people.
Alright, so... Alright,
That's not
I'll
that
start, you go, then you.
Alright.
Superman Atari 2600, 1979.
Superman the game on Commodore 64 or Atari 400, 800 in 1985.
Superman on NES in 1988.
Arcade Superman in 1988 as well.
Superman the movie, The Man of Steel on Commodore 64, ZX Spectrum, whatever that is. Amiga, whatever that is. Atari ST in 1989.
Superman released on Sega Genesis, released in 1992.
Superman the... Let's see. Superman Man of Steel released on
I just did
Sega
that.
Master System
Oh, no, I didn't.
in 1993.
There was a Master System?
Apparently.
The Death and Return of Superman released on SNES and Sega in 94.
Superman released on Game Boy in 1997.
This has a note next to it, known as possibly one of the worst games ever made. Superman on N64 in 1999. I think I've played that, and I think I agree.
Played it. Superman Shadow of Apocalypse on PlayStation 2 and GameCube in 2002.
Man of Steel released on Xbox in 2002. Played that. It was not good.
Superman Returns released on DS, 360, Xbox, and PlayStation Portable in 2006. I played that.
I'm gonna go with
irritated.
I'm gonna go with none of those games were really any good.
I played Superman Returns and I got stuck on the... Who was the guy with the kryptonite in his chest?
Metallo.
I got stuck on the Metallo level and it pissed me off to no end and I stopped playing.
I don't know.
Because all I ever wanted to do was fly up and fly down. That's all I wanted to do.
Now it comes the list of games featuring Superman. These weren't his games. He was just in them.
Justice League Task Force released for SNES and Sega in 1995.
Justice League Heroes. I loved that game. Released for Xbox, PlayStation Portable, Nintendo DS, and PS2, 2006. And that's what made me sad to get rid of my Xbox, because I loved that game.
Alright. Mortal Kombat vs. DC Universe on PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360.
No release date.
Apparently.
I'm going to go with 2008.
Okay, go for it.
Justice League Heroes United, released for the arcade in 2009.
DC Universe Online release for PlayStation 3 and Microsoft Online in 2011.
I've played it. It's not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad.
Alright.
Lego Batman 2. My son loves that
I love
game.
those conversations. Daddy, I can't beat this level.
Oh, not even... You got no idea, dude. Not even a clue. I can't even go into another room because I'll hear, Daddy! I'm stuck! What are you stuck on? I can't find the electricity! I don't know! I need to actually sit down and play through the whole game because you can be Superman. And Green Lantern and stuff, and I have not played the whole game.
And then the most recent one is Injustice Gods Among Us. It's a Mortal Kombat style fight released on PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, and Wii U in 2013. I've not finished playing it yet.
I have yet to play it.
It's in the box.
What's it on?
What do you think?
The PlayStation?
Yeah. You really need to get one of those.
Okay, so that was our first half. 3/4 of the show. I think that was most of our Superman-related stuff.
I do believe...
I'd like to give a round of applause to our producer. He found a whole lot of stuff.
Ah, yes, that was good. I like it. That was definitely interesting.
That was.
Now that we've done one, I have ideas about moving it around so that we don't have all the lists at the end. We kind of intersperse them in with the links.
We'll do that off camera.
Okay, fair enough.
All right, we are moving into Noob Versus. Last week's Noob Versus was a sibling rivalry, which ended up being Marvel, and it was Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch versus
the Cyclops and Havoc,
the Summers brothers. And
last we checked, the winner was me, and I'm gonna wait for Les to go look that up, and if he can find it. Or do I need to go look it up? I think Les can go look it up because I don't have all that stuff on this
yeah, you do. Google right there.
Browser. But I do believe last we checked, you were getting beat
Stomped.
again, by me, and you picked first.
I did, and I don't know why I did not pick them. So, what we need now is...
And it is confirmed by Les that
we
I
need
won.
this week's Noob Versus from our producer. It is completely random every week now. We weren't sure we would like this. Like, we were very skeptical.
I'm enjoying this, though.
And I kind of like it this way.
Because I don't have to stress about it. I'm just like, oh, look, suddenly, hey, we have a Noob Versus topic.
So, what is our topic for the week, Mr. Producer? Do.
Let's wait about the 4 seconds for him to type it. This week will be super villains. Villains who could take Superman.
So not necessarily just Superman bad guys, but people who could take them.
Just super villains who could take them.
Alright. Goku is not a villain, so no, he cannot be used.
Okay, then I'm totally going Frieza.
You're going Frieza? Really? You're going to go Dragon Ball Z? All I have to do is go mainstream now, and you're done.
I don't know.
Super villains. Who do I want? Let's see who's
Okay,
going.
wait, fine. I'll go Cell instead.
You're going to Cell?
Supercell.
Okay.
He said the word super. Notice the word super. How about that? I'm going Supercell.
I don't think it has to be a super name. Big Bowser.
Man, that Bowser, he's just always kidnapping the same chick. You think he would go after another chick at some point?
You'd think so, but no. Villain. I'm trying to get out of my comfort zone and go other stuff here.
Come on.
I'm thinking.
I think Cell could totally beat Superman. A Super Cell could beat Superman.
I'm trying to stay away because I know the normal battles, so I'm trying to stay out of them.
All right.
So I'm gonna go. Who do I want to go with?
You can do it. You got 10 seconds.
Oh, Hades from
Hercules?
No, Hades from God of War, the Kratos game. What is it called?
God of War.
Is it God of War?
Whatever it's called. What if you just go Hades from Hercules? That could work.
Ooh, no, nobody really knows that guy though, does he?
What, Omni-Man?
Omni-Man? I like Omni-Man. I don't know, I kind of like Hades though.
We'll go Hades.
Hades, but the God of War Hades?
Alright.
Let's go.
The God Hades versus Supercell from Dragon Ball Z.
That is a weird pairing.
That's the weirdest I think we've ever had.
That is kind of weird.
We might get 3 votes for this one. Yours, mine, and Les's. And I'm not quite sure who wins that one. So
I know, because he's the tiebreaker.
Make sure you go to check out the Facebook page. It will all be listed there for the link to go vote. So we're going to move on now to the next section is coming attractions. And it says, gee, I wonder who came in first this week. The Purge again? Fast 6?
What about After Earth?
Not a chance. I've heard nothing but bad crap about that
horrible.
one.
I think it's made Will Smith kind of go, I'm done for a while.
Really?
He's like, he wants to do artsy stuff.
Oh, fuck.
Coming in first, and these are at time of recording, Man of Steel, 113 million. That's very respectable.
That's very respectable.
Very respectable.
Now you see me at 20.5 million. Have
Doing
you heard anything
way
about that?
better, and apparently it's also doing 10.3 million at number 3. That would be a typo in our doc.
Maybe that's supposed to be After Earth.
I think maybe no. There's no way that's After Earth.
Number 4 was Fast 6 with 9.4 million. Number 5 was The Purge with 8.2 million. That's a lot of moolah.
Next week is World War Z starring Brad Pitt. No, we're not. We're not reviewing this because zombies don't run.
They amble.
Zombies don't run! And these zombies are running, jumping, like scaling mountains. No!
They amble.
No! Oh, number 2 was This Is the End with 20.5 million, and number 3 was Now You See Me. Thank you for the correction.
Oh, I want to go see This Is the End.
Coming attractions, we want to talk about, we did a little alteration to the show. We're taking the AV Club out, essentially, because it's been talked about how
this is mostly an
audio podcast,
and we were trying to describe pictures.
So we have taken it out. However, we do have a trailer segment that we're going to do just to let you guys know what trailers are out there and that you should go see them. Every one of these links will be on our Facebook page, so you can check them out there and they'll all be there, or you could use YouTube.
Yeah. This week we've got new Wolverine trailer.
I will say, this one made me interested.
Okay, so I haven't seen it yet.
It was one of the ones that was on the beginning for my movie, and not bad.
Yeah.
Wasn't amazing, but makes me interested.
All right. We've also got The Hobbit, The Desolation of Smaug.
Smaug. I want to see this now only because Cumberbatch is the voice of Smaug.
I haven't seen the first Hobbit yet.
No?
No.
He's okay.
I don't like the Lord of the Rings stuff. We've got the new Rest in Peace Department trailer found by Anthony Whitehouse.
I want to see that so bad.
We've got the Elysium trailer.
Carrie Gray
Found by Carrie Gray.
That looks weird, but I still look at it. And the last one is the first trailer for 300 Rise of an Empire. They say it is awesome. I have yet to see it.
This was also found by Carrie Gray. Thank you. Those of you that send us things every week.
All right, question of the week last week was, how do you think Man of Steel was going to end? Our Suggestions were, it will end with, I hope it will end with me not being disappointed for paying to see it in the theater.
And that was from William McCamus. The producer says, I'm hoping it ends with Lex Luthor in a post-credit scene, kind of like what Charles Tolley said, getting you ready for a sequel.
Chase Green said there will probably be credits and some music.
Yeah. And he was right, by the way.
He was right.
He was very much right. Anthony Whitehouse says, here's hoping for a red blur with a gold streak in it.
We were all hoping for that, Anthony.
Yes.
We were all hoping for it.
Denny Breaks says the after credit scene will be rather he has beaten Zod and is feeling all high and mighty. Batman will swoop in. Think you could beat me in a fight. He says, think you could beat me in a fight, do you? He pulls out a kryptonite ring. F you and your OP powers out to black. You're cut to black.
Charles Tolley with a secret ending post-credit to suck you into a sequel. Unfortunately, that was not it.
I'm telling you, people were Googling that to see if there was one in my showing.
And again, I really, really do like the fact that Chase won with there will probably be credits and music.
What did you think of the end, though? The fact, like, the end of the movie, did you like that part?
Yeah.
Where he's just like, hey, suck it. You can't know where I live.
Oh, yeah.
Does he get his Fortress of Solitude back?
I don't know. I don't know if it was a fortress, because they kind of vaporized his little crystal thing.
That's true.
And Hamilton died. Already.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Hamilton got sucked into the Phantom
Who was
Zone.
that?
Emil Hamilton?
Yeah.
He was the doctor, like, every scientific thing Superman needed to do in the animated series, he was always there. And he's been there for years.
Nice.
Okay, we'd like to mention on our Facebook page and through Twitter and stuff for the last couple of weeks, last week or so, we were trying to put together our favorite, or the Noob people's favorite.
The nerd list.
The nerd list. The top 10 DC characters. Ending the voting session next Sunday. It'll be announced live next week.
So what we're doing is every time he gets a vote, they get a point.
Yep.
Right now, I think Superman is winning or Batman's winning.
Green Lantern was winning. I know Batman is winning.
Batman's winning.
I also like to give props. Somebody in their thing suggested when they put it in, they said Batman, Bruce Wayne's Batman, because that's props knowing Bruce Wayne's not the only Batman.
Fair enough. So, guys, be sure if you want to get in on that and get to make sure your guy is known, then send us your top 10 DC characters. I believe the next time it's going to be the top 10 Marvel characters, and we're going to keep this up, see what it's like. Just kind of, it may or may not work. So, on that note,
let's see here. What are our questions of the week? Are you gonna watch Monsters or Zombies next week? You're gonna knock up a superhero or villain. Who would it be? WB saying they're considering who should play them. Man of Steel is out. Which movie will dethrone it from the number one?
All right, so you're gonna knock up a superhero or villain. Who would it be?
I'm gonna go with.
My immediate is Zatanna.
Yeah.
She's got the mystical stuff. She could probably do things.
Now, are you doing this because of your spawn, or because you get to knock up Zatanna?
Because I get to knock up Zatanna. The girl just loves her some fishnets.
Okay.
I'm going with Zatanna.
If
I could just knock boots with any superhero, villain, whatever, right off the top of my head, just the first one that pops in my head is Zatanna.
All right, fine. I think I would go Power Girl.
Okay. Isn't that Wonder Woman's niece or something?
No,
like
it's Superman's cousin and another.
That's right. Yeah. That's right.
First of all, boob window.
Boob window. Okay.
I mean, come on. Secondly, damn. And third, we'd have a badass kid.
Yeah.
Except dark hair instead of blonde.
You just want to do it in the clouds, don't you?
Yeah, she can fly me anywhere.
See, I'm telling you, see, like, she's got...
Yes, but be careful. Once Zatanna starts talking backwards, you're screwed.
She's got boob... See, I figured that part out, though. I'm going to find somebody that can program a Google Translate to translate backwards words so that I know at least what she's doing.
Either that or Carrie.
Regardless.
Our producer says he's knocking up Black Widow because she's too damn hot. Yeah, but she gonna kill you after.
Let's see. Agamemnon says Black Canary would get annoying when you're having an argument.
I don't know. No one wants to knock up Wonder Woman. Do you know why? Because she lives on an island full of women. Imagine when it's that time of month. I mean, this is a guy. These are two guys doing this show. I'm gonna say right now, holy crap!
All right, so that is our question of the week. If you could knock up any superhero,
Fox says he would anyway,
or villain, who would it be, and why? Throw in the why in there.
Is it because of the spawn you would have? Or is it because damn?
It's like for me, like I said, it's all about the fishnets. I'm just kinky that way, I guess.
Does Gina have fishnets?
We're not going to talk about that live on the show at all. That's not going to be a yes or no. So yeah, guys. On that note, I think it's time. I've got work in the morning.
I have work in the morning.
So we're gonna have to cut this off. We love you. Thank you so much for being with us today, and we hope you enjoyed the show. We're going to try and make sure that it's not all weird from the cuts from earlier. So, guys, we'll see you later. Much love. Peace. Out.